All right, we're gonna get into good, better, and best ways of attaching a cruise luggage tag. Out of all the videos we've done, this has been the most popular, the most watched video. But we're gonna do an update using all the comments that people have left us about ways that they do it, and we're gonna see which ones do the best. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about good, better, best, but first let's talk about what not to do. Let's just pretend you didn't read any of the instructions and you're just in a hurry and you decide, oh, I'm just gonna cut right here and slap this thing on the bag. Well, one thing you have to remember is that a porter at the cruise terminal is going to handle your bag very similarly to an airline. And it has instructions here to staple, which I'll talk about that in a minute. If you think about the airport and how you've seen your bag get handled, it gets grabbed like this. It gets literally thrown. I've seen bags thrown before. A porter is going to do something similar in that they're going to grab your bag and put it on a giant cart. So when I'm grabbing a bag, well, look, oh, now you have no tag. Now no one knows who this bag belongs to at all. Okay? Not good. So never ever do it that way. You actually should follow the instructions. So don't do the quick, I'm just gonna cut it version. It will come off. So we're gonna go with good is you have followed the instructions, okay? And you decided to fold and do not cut, just as it says. It does not have to be perfect, but you do need to make sure that the print side with all the beautiful colors is out. And again, it doesn't have to be in color. I'm gonna say that. It does not have to be in color, but it does help for a faster identification if it is colored, okay? So if I had folded it correctly, it is a lot thicker. And we have been asked before the question of, oh, do you travel with a stapler? No, we do not travel with a stapler. Here's what happens. If you have watched our other videos, you know to come in the night before, not the morning of your cruise. So if you come in the night before, as you're supposed to, and you have these already printed and in your luggage, all we do is we go down to the front desk in the morning and we say, hey, could we borrow your stapler? No office pun intended, but if you take their stapler real quick and get it on there right before you are on your way to the terminal, it's the best thing to do. Don't do it at the airport. Don't do it before you leave. Just do it on your way out. As you can see, this is thicker. I can pick up my bag empty with it in. It's on there pretty good. What the bad part about this is if it were to rain, and we've had that happen before where it is raining the morning of, and they can get wet and soggy and get a little dreary and fall off. So this is good, I'd say very acceptable, but let's get into kind of some of the things that people told us that they do as our better option. Okay, so small little segue, just because someone asked this question. What do all of the numbers and letters and symbols mean on this sheet? Essentially, the large number is gonna be the floor that you are on. The smaller one above it is your room, your stateroom number. Obviously, underneath is gonna be the ship that you're on. This is your departure date out of whatever port you're leaving from. It is the day you're leaving and the city that you are departing from, and your status. And the little section here is just what part of the ship you are on. This is really just for the porters to know. It doesn't really help you at all, except for probably these two right here and making sure you're on the right ship. Okay, so this actually came from one of our comments of something that someone else does. I have folded it per the instructions, and you can't probably see it real good, but I have two pieces of just regular old packing tape that we're going to seal it together. We're gonna try it. I've not done this before, just straight up. So We're gonna give it a shot. I don't know how this is gonna go. And if I'm not doing it perfect, it'll be all right. Y'all just be kind about that. And their instructions were to really kind of make your own tag. It's actually not a horrible way to do it. We'll give them credit here. And they did a hole punch, which I'm gonna hope this guy goes through here. Okay, so I've punched a hole in this, and all I would do is take a zip tie and just zip tie it to the handle. This is kind of like an adaptation from a couple of comments of people using packing tape. I'm gonna show you one more version of using the packing tape. Never done it this way. I still have some sticky on one side. So we're gonna try it. I mean, I'd say that's pretty good. All right, so we're gonna say this is still better.
Would you fold it or no? That one wasn't folded.
This not folded, it's pretty strong. I mean, I'd have to try really hard to get it off. Like, I'd have to probably actually cut it off. So I'd say that's a lot better. All right, so we're going to try something we have never heard of before, and I'm like old school. Had an old laminating machine growing up to laminate everything, because back in the day, everybody laminated everything, even though they realized that might have damaged some of your documents, you know. We didn't know that back then. So we're gonna try something that someone introduced us to in the comments. These are apparently self-seal lamination. News to me. And I will tell you, I read these instructions several times in the store. It kind of took me a minute to figure out exactly what it was asking me to do. But then I realized that there is two sides. I was trying to figure out, where is this pocket they're talking about? This paper comes off. Took me a minute to figure out what in the world they were talking about. So we're gonna give it a shot. They want to place the clear side down on a flat surface and lift up the backing sheet. Place the photo side, which I can't read the instructions, upside down. Basically keeping the document centered and all those things. So we're gonna just try it here. Okay, we're gonna take that thing off. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this and fold this real quick. I imagine folded, it would probably be too thick if I had to guess, because it's not going through the actual pressed machine like the, you know, a regular laminator would. So I'm assuming it would be better to do it this way. And then we're going to cut this. Okay, I see now. So once you take the little strip off, it is easier. And it becomes this like little pouch pocket thing. So I'm gonna slide this closer, knowing what I know now, and I'm gonna slide this down so that I have space at the top. And I'm just gonna, hang on. We're gonna get it. I'm gonna slide it in that little crease there. Not perfect, but it's all right. If I do it that way, all right, I know it's crooked. Y'all just don't judge, it's fine. Don't be mean commenters here, all right. And I have a really old hole punch, so. And what I want for Christmas is a new hole punch. A new hole punch.
I think they're $1.84. I could have bought one.
Ugh. All right. I know I just jacked that up, but it's okay. So, self-laminating sheets actually work, and if I had a better hole punch, that would be a better hole, and then zip tie and attach to the bag. So that's actually pretty decent. That's not bad.
And what size laminating thing did you use?
We got the 5x7 because one thing to note that is important is that different cruise companies have different size luggage tags. We learned that and had no idea till a couple years ago that like Carnivals might be a different size than Royals versus MSC. But when we get into the best tags, we'll talk about the different sizes. So we did get the 5x7 knowing that if we needed to cut down, it wouldn't be a problem. I wouldn't do the 4x6 because I feel like it'd be too tight and you wouldn't have enough space to do the hole for your zip tie.
You could fit 2 in here too, couldn't you? If you ordered
I
both
could
out
have,
like that?
okay, yes. Never having done this before, I could have easily done 2 tags, and of course I did it crooked, but we're gonna let that go. I could have done 2 tags on 1 sheet, but you saw that it kind of got a little where it started to come up because of the static, but you could do 2 in 1. So really, for a 5 pouches, by the way, we paid $8.44 before tax at our Walmart. So 5 pouches, if you could get 2 tags and 1 sleeve, that's pretty darn good. You could travel almost 2 trips depending on how many bags you have, just with 1 thing for $8. And we will link this in, along with our best coming up. Okay, now for what we consider the best. We say that because we've been on numerous cruises over 10 years of cruising experience. We have found that the clear zip top sleeves are still the best. However, I'm shocked at the laminating sheets. I'm gonna be using that for other stuff, by the way. And again, we figured out that there were more sizes. These are, I'll say, our originals. You can tell they're dingy because we don't just use them for cruising. We leave them on like all year round, and we just take the thing out and put like a business card inside as our address thing. Plus, you can identify your bag so much faster with one of these on. Plus, we often see people with these on, like in airports, and you get into a conversation about cruising because it's a cruise tag. So this is the original kind of version that we bought, and then we bought the wider version for like other cruise lines. But these are thinner and more pliable than these. These are much thicker. It's hard to tell in the video, but we'll link both. These are still my favorite though. Okay, so how these work, I've still folded these. I probably don't need to, but it helps to get them in the sleeve because they're pretty tight. They're not chintzy, and it truly doesn't matter which way you slide them in here. I do the folded side because it helps shove it down. If I tried to use this little end, I'd have a hard time. So once it's in there, I'll just clip it shut just like a Ziploc bag. Same thing with my bigger one that again is a little flimsier as far as its thickness. I'm still gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna use my folded side to stick it down in there. Yeah. And again, the zipper on this one is not as nice as the other one either. You can't even hear the snaps when I'm doing it.
Yeah, there's no gravet.
There is a gravet. Well, yeah, you're right. There is no gravet. There's a hole, but there's no gravet. So definitely consider that. Super easy. They have these really nice cable attachments. So stick it on here. And it has the ones that screw on. This thing is not coming off. Okay, it is a cable on there with the grommet. It's not coming off. Even if I showed you this other one, cable, again, not as thick, okay? But it's still not gonna come off. Same thing, I'm gonna cinch this down all the way. Now, I don't like that this doesn't have the grommet, okay? So if it got pulled hard, it could come off. But this one by far is the better one. This is the best. These are the best. You can see by their size, they are different, but best thing we've ever purchased. And if you're wondering, well, what kind of gadgets and what kind of things should I really consider for my cruise? Watch this video here. It has all of the things that all of our hacks for the cabin, for traveling, all the things. One more comment to call out is that this is a carry-on bag. And you're probably thinking, well, if it's a carry-on, why would I give it to the porter? People, for some reason, love to just carry their bag around all day for half a day on day one. You don't need to. We bring a tote bag or a backpack that has like our swimsuits and like the basics we need for half a day. And we go ahead and give this to the porter so we're not the person lugging our bags around all over while people are trying to explore the ship. It's just a pain in the butt. Don't do it. If you can avoid it by any circumstance, just go ahead and give it to the porter. Don't worry about your bag. They're gonna get it to your room, usually by early afternoon. Not a big deal. But if you're wondering about all of the cool room hacks, all of the cool purchases, we'll have all the links below. Everything you need to know. This is Mrs. Tips, Tips for Cruisers. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're getting help from this content.